Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be giving my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE SmackDown Live, 18th of October 2016. We kick off the show with James Ellsworth in a locker room. He's having trouble putting on his wrist tape. He's in shock at the sight of his own t-shirt. Dean Ambrose tells him he has confidence in him. Then Randy Orton makes his way to the ring. Randy says he has to give credit where credit is due. The evil inside Bray Wyatt runs deeper than he ever thought. Trying to escape his world is like trying to escape quicksand. The more you fight, the more you are pulled down. He feels like he's losing his mind and that he's going crazy. It's a big problem for Bray Wyatt. He has shredded every last bit of sanity he has. Randy says he is wrath, he is vengeance, he is coming after Bray Wyatt. We go to the Titantron where a series of masked men surround a casket with Bray lying inside of it. He goes, Randall, get over yourself. He does not have to come after him because Bray is coming after Randy. He says he's about to take Randy on a journey, the journey where you'll be gasping for your last breath of air over and over again. He asks Randy if he's enjoying this. Bray says he's here. Luke Harper comes out, they have a match. During the match, Bray's music starts playing and Bray is wheeled in the casket down to ringside. The finish happened when Bray Wyatt comes in the ring and hits Randy Orton from behind. The referee calls for the bell. Harper hits him with a boot. Bray Wyatt does punches. They're going to put Randy in the casket, but the casket opens and Kane's inside. I would like to mention that the casket was clear for the rest of the segment, so it was kind of creepy. Randy takes out Bray Wyatt. Kane gets on the top turnbuckle and does a flying clothesline on Harper. Kane checks up for the chokeslam. Randy Orton sets up for the RKO, doing the push-ups on the floor. Lights go out, lights come back up. Bray and Harper are gone. It was an amazing segment, to be fair. The talking, the match, it's all giving a massive feud. This looks like it might be Kane's last hurrah, which is going to be an amazing feud to go out on, to be fair. It will be good to see him retire because he hasn't got anything left in him left to do. Then we have an AJ Styles backstage interview. They ask him about his match with James Ellsworth and he says he cannot believe this is happening. He is the WWE World Champion. He has to scratch and claw to earn the right to be called the face that runs the place. However, he is getting in the ring with a waste of space, fat, skinny turd James Ellsworth. He says Dean Ambrose will find a way to slither in and do something. He'll try to embarrass AJ. It could be like WCW again. It would be like David Arquette winning the title. He cannot believe he is in the ring with a wet noodle of a man like James Ellsworth. He tells Dean that he will find him if he costs him the match. He does not care where Dean is, he will find him. He will rip Dean apart piece by piece. Another good interview. Then we had Naomi and versus Alexa Bliss. It was an alright match. Bliss won with Twisted Bliss. It's alright. Until Becky comes back, I can kind of see that they're struggling with the women a little bit. Then Renee Young interviews Alexa in the ring and she asks her about the title match against Becky. And Alexa just says, the fairy tale will be over in 3 weeks. There is no magic slipper and the witch it will be dead. There will be a new champion and it will be the fairest of them all. Then we had Kurt Hawkins versus Apollo Crews. Kurt comes out and tells Crews to face the facts. He says all Apollo has to fear is fear itself, and Kurt Hawkins. And then he says Apollo will have a dilemma because he'll have to change his name to Apollo Lose after the match. Crews punches Hawkins to the floor, and then Kurt gets on the microphone and says, you ruined his big debut and you've deprived everyone of seeing him in action tonight. He turns around and leaves. Where was Daniel Bryan at this? Then Carmella comes out. Carmella says she was basking in the glow of her first SummerSlam match, and whose music did she hear? Nikki Bella's. You all went nuts for her, and Carmella said she doesn't get it. It's your lucky day because Carmella is here to spill the tea, and Nikki comes out. Nikki says she's so curious to hear what Carmella has to say, so she does not want to get attacked from behind. She'll stand in Carmella's face. Carmella says Nikki is stealing her spotlight just like at SummerSlam. Carmella says Nikki can get away with anything because her boyfriend is John Cena. Carmella says she will not be walking on eggshells. You are fearless, Nikki, because you go home with Mr. Hustle, loyalty and respect every single night. Nikki says Carmella showed that she's just like every other person who's been jealous of her for 4 years. Nikki says that she's been on television shows and has been in thousands of photographs. How is she hiding things? Carmella calls Nikki clingy, whiny, needy gold digger that everyone knows that Nikki is. We then see a clip from Total Need Freak. Nikki says she's impressed with Carmella's editing skills. Nikki then says she paves her own roads, pays her bills, and wears the pants in her relationship. When people doubt her, she trains harder. Nikki says she was told that she'd never wrestle again. She is fearless because she's not afraid of anyone. She's not afraid of a boss, a queen, or someone from Staten Island. Carmella asks if John helped her to come up with Fearless. Aya says she will tell the truth. She says that Nikki used her looks to get in the door, used her sister to get in the ring, and used her boyfriend John Cena to become a celebrity. And then we go to another backstage segment. Renee Young asks James Ellsworth about his match. James says his hands are trembling. He would be lying if he did say he was not nervous. Last week he was in a match against AJ Styles and he survived. He had a talk with Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack and he got a match for the title. He does not deserve it and he is not in AJ Styles' league. He will be able to tell his grandkids that their grandpa wrestled for the WWE World title on SmackDown Live. Then we go to a backstage segment with Rhino and Heath Slater, asking the question, why did they save Dolph Ziggler last week? Heath said he did it for his kid because they need role models, and Rhino said he did it because he hates male cheerleaders. Then we have Miz, Kenny and Mikey versus Dolph, Heath and Rhino. The win happened when Miz took a cheap shot to Slater from the outside and then Kenny rolls him up for a 3 count. Then we had Daniel Bryan on the phone with Shane McMahon saying they need to work on their roster for the matches. Natalya enters and she says she wants to be the first person in the women's elimination match. Daniel asks why Natalya. Natalya says she can teach everyone in the woman's division, and then she quotes "The Greatest Love of All" by Whitney Houston. And then Daniel Bryan says, "Was that Whitney Houston reference?" She went, "No." Then Nikki quoted a couple more song lyrics. And then she asked Daniel if she was following her cat on Instagram. Nikki, Natalya, whatever. Seriously? Your cat on Instagram, that is the most lamest thing I've ever heard. And then she shows pictures of the cat to Daniel Bryan. Then we have Baron Corbin saying Jack Swagger's existence is a bad joke. You put your hand on your heart and people chant with you like it matters. They are doing it at your expense. He will beat Jack tonight. He will beat everyone in the arena and anyone in the world who says we the people. Then we had Jack Swagger vs Baron Corbin, a very short match when Corbin won with End of Days. I think it lasted for a minute. Bit of a squash match, but what are you going to do? Then we go back. Natalya's still showing pictures of her cat to Daniel Bryan. Dean comes in with the referee shirt. Daniel thanks Dean for showing up. I'm not surprised. Dean says he's ready to referee the main event tonight. He'll call it right down the middle. Daniel says, Dean, you cannot referee tonight. Dean says he was a good referee, and Daniel says he can't do it for a world title match, but you could be a ring announcer or timekeeper or guest commentator. Dean says he will do that, and Daniel was wondering which one Dean would do. Then we had the match. He comes out and he announces this is a world title match. He went, seriously, this is for the world title. He introduces Ellsworth. And then he introduces Styles as a current and temporary WWE champion. Then he goes to the ringside area and rings the bell 30 times or something like that. Ellsworth tries a sneak attack from behind when Dean was ringing the bell. AJ then goes for a hip top and Dean says they need to go to commercial, distracting him. And then we come back. AJ Styles is trying to go for a rear chin lock on Ellsworth, but he cannot get a grip on the chin. Styles slash Ellsworth and Dean says everyone to look at the target for a deal on Ellsworth t-shirts. And then AJ goes out to the ring and says, Ambrose, this is your fault. What I'm about to do to him. And then AJ Styles chops and puts Ellsworth on the turnbuckle. AJ goes for a suplex and Dean makes an announcement that car is got its lights on. And then Dean does a promotional ad and then Styles leaves the turnbuckle. Styles sends Ellsworth into the turnbuckle, then to the floor. Dean sends Ellsworth back in, and then Styles sends back to the floor, and they do that for about a minute. Then Styles goes on the top, and Ellsworth drops Styles on the turnbuckle, and then Ellsworth hits a super kick, or what the referee called a no-chin music, and then he gets a 2 count, which is surprising because he actually nearly got a pinfall over him. And then Dean asks Ellsworth, "This is the best you can do." Styles kicks Ellsworth in the corner. Dean asks AJ, he may look like a soccer mum, but I didn't know he kicked like one. Styles is doing forearms, referee warns him, and then just more forearms, and referee does a 5 count, and then James Ellsworth wins by disqualification. And then Dean announces the winner of the match, the man who's beat AJ Styles more than John Cena, James Ellsworth. And then after the match, Dean Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds. It was a pretty good episode of SmackDown. I enjoyed it, to be fair. It's also fun watching the What Culture live streams. Anyway, I'll catch you later.